Alright, we are back in Image Control, the newest product from Gamma and Density Company. We have a whole series of tutorial videos on the product about how to import footage, how to do data management, how to create looks using the wheels, RGB sliders, and pre-made look settings, how to create your deliverables, your dailies, exporting LUTs, all that fun stuff. So in this particular video, we're going over some of the more advanced settings, the preferences, calibration, all those different ways that are built into Image Control to help perfect your image workflow on set, in pre-production, and in post. Alright, so the first thing we'll look at is the calibration utility. This is a big problem in digital of how can we trust what we're looking at. Are we looking at sRGB, Rec 709, DCP, DCI, all the different color spaces that are introduced here with digital. So for common use on set, the most common color space you'll run across is Rec 709. This is what all of our production reference monitors on set for the most part are. This is what a lot of the built-in LUTs within the camera are set for. This is the color space for TV, Blu-ray, disc media, anything you see on your television display is Rec 709. So everything within Image Control is set up for a 709 previewing, viewing, and export. You can even see in the vector scope, it's a 709 vector scope. So to get your computer display close to 709, because computer displays are natively sRGB with a different gamma setting, so in the calibration control up here in the top, you can perform main monitor calibration. So we have a built-in utility where you basically calibrate your display by eye. So using the slider down at the bottom, the goal is to get the circle in the middle to blend in with the circle in the background. So I'm not sure how effectively this is going to come through in the screenshot recording utility I'm using, but trust me, I'm dialing in by eye as best I can right now. So this is also a good way to dial it in by eye because your ambient light settings may change. On set, who knows what your environment's going to be in, so we recommend doing this calibration process anytime you're changing location, anytime you have different lighting conditions. So you can set that one slider for luminance, same thing with RGB as well. Gonna hit next, and then it shows a color chart here so you can see a nice reference. Double check your grayscale, your 709 color bars, make sure everything's looking right. Skin tone, greenery, blue sky, all those are looking accurate, and save. So now I've saved that as a calibration LUT in a way, a display LUT. So any image shown in Image Control is going to have that look applied that's compensating for my ambient light conditions, compensating for whatever my display might be set at. So it's a good way to get you close to Rec 709. The ideal scenario, of course, is to be going out to a calibrated reference monitor on set to do color-specific grading tasks, but if all you have is a laptop out in the middle on location, out in the middle of the desert on location, you got to do what you got to do to get it as close as you can. The built-in calibration utility is a great tool for that. So you can remove your calibration, you can change it anytime you want. You can even calibrate your external monitor as well. So if you're going out over a video I/O device, you can calibrate that as well using the same utility. All right, so now diving into the preferences. We've talked about calibration. So what are some of the other more advanced tools you can use here to perfect your workflow in Image Control? So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit on these preferences. Alright, so here in preferences I can select a lot of these checkboxes to customize the user interface here in the General tab. Tooltips, Smart Prefix, neutral lights, maximum frame, cache frame. So every time you load in a clip in Image Control, it caches all the rest of the frames. So you can set the size of that right here. The size of your 3D LUT, you can do up to a 65 by 65 or 64 by 64 LUT. Generally, we find 32 or 33 is the preferred method right now, but you have more control over your LUT export here in the General tab. Gamma compatibility using the QuickTime and Final Cut X, restricting controls for ASC CDL. Here in Test Instruments, we looked at this in one of the other tutorial videos, where you can change on your waveform if you want to see these reflected value f-stops, if you want to look at it in full range, view in millivolts, same thing with the vector scope. The digital spot meter, here you can change what values are showing up as you do sample points throughout the image that we previewed in one of the other videos. The RGB spot meter, IRE, lightness values, reports. So in the deliverables video, we looked at how to generate a report out of image control showing a before-after of your graded image, which is a great reference for your colorist, for post-production, to make sure the LUT is doing exactly what you intend it to do. So here you can save your report in different file formats. You can choose a different report template. So we have all these preset templates and different arrangements of how those reports can be created, what scopes you would like on your report, dark backgrounds, auto-generate the LUT. So anytime you generate a LUT, you can also, or anytime you generate a report, this lookup table can also go along with it. So you set all that in the reports here. File output, this is setting your preferences for the dailies generation. So if you want a head slate where you want your burned in time code, if at all. Background generation, so all your dailies will be generated in the background, allowing you to work simultaneously on other things within image control. Video I/O devices, so this is if you're using, let's say, a Blackmagic output card or an Aja card or something like that to do a full screen video out. Here's where you can set all of those settings. Upload, so if you're sending reports, you can send those out via email directly within image control by setting up your information here in the Uploads tab. Backup, this is for all your data management. You can set your primary, secondary, and tertiary backup locations, so you can offload your footage to 3 separate destinations all at one time. Selecting your backup verification method, MD5, byte by byte, file size, SHA1, all of those, and performing the backups in the background. You can select that here as well in the preferences. So this is where you're setting where you want your footage to go when you're doing data management. Control surfaces. We support currently the Tangent Hub, which covers the Tangent Wave, the Element, the CP200, as well as the Avid Artist Control Console. So if you're using an external control surface for doing color work, image control will work with that. So your color wheels are mapped to your lift, gamma, gain, trackballs, and sliders on any of these color surfaces. So it makes for a very efficient, quick method for doing color correction and doing your work within image control. Other external hardware, so this is your HD Link Pro settings, and as we support more LUT boxes, those will all show up here in the external hardware settings. Software updates, so anytime there's an update for image control, those will be downloaded for you. You can select how often you want to check for updates. Those will be sent automatically for you to download. And then calibration, so it'll tell me when my display was calibrated. If I have any calibration applied, I went ahead and disabled the one we did, or else it would show up here in the preferences. So those are the general rundown of the different settings you can do within image control to be very precise with how you set up the program to work for your specific workflow. Click Save. So that takes you all around image control. We have the gallery, wheels, RGB sliders and looks for doing color grading, raw for adjusting raw metadata, generate for creating dailies, test instruments on the left. Everything is resizable, so you can have as large of a viewer as you want, as small of a viewer as you want, more metadata, less gallery. It's a very modular design, optimized for many of our users. And you just find what works best for you. What works best for your setup, for your screen resolution. Obviously, the more screen resolution, the better. So that covers the advanced settings and calibration here within image control. If you have any questions about individual things or want to know the keyboard shortcuts, those are all mapped here into the help file within image control. So here in the help file, you have all of the individual keyboard shortcuts, which will enable you to work faster within the program, as well as our entire help interface here. So if you have any questions about specific features within image control, definitely check the help document. That will be of great use to you to get going with what you need. Or if you have any further questions, you can email us at laoffice@gammadensity.com and download our free demo of image control. Works for 15 days with limited features. That can be found at gammadensity.com/demo. All right, thank you so much for watching the tutorial video. I hope you enjoy image control and find it as a great solution for your digital image workflow.